Hello everyone. In this video session, we can view testing related another component is called as a SDLC, Software Development Life Cycle, or a System Development Life Cycle. In any software company, once business requirement or release, what are the cycles existed, what are the phases existed, each and every phases will try to study in a depth. First of all, what is the SDLC architecture? We try to observe that. So SDLC phases, in this first phase is a feasibility study, second phase is the requirement analysis and specification, and third one is the design phase, and fourth one is the coding, and fifth is the testing, and sixth is the delivery and maintenance. Feasibility study, analysis, designing, coding, testing, delivery, maintenance, these are the 6 phases as per the IEEE standard. In the software industry existed IEEE, in the sense Institute of Electrical Electronics Engineering. This organization is giving standard for the software documentation. As per the documentation standard, these are the phases existed. Each and every phase is elaborately we can observe. So let me explain. First, feasibility study. In this feasibility study, there are several subphases existed who, which is who is involving here. This is the phase where exactly a business analyst team gathering business requirement from the client environment. To gather the requirement, there are following some formulas. Most important formula is telos. In telos, T stand for technical feasibility, E stand for the economic feasibility, and L stand for the legal feasibility, and O stand for operational feasibility, and S stand for the schedule feasibility. So this is the telos. We can able to view in details one by one. Technical feasibility, what exactly the meaning of technical feasibility? As per the client requirements, the company thinking our software, hardware requirements as well as the staff members, all these are the perfectly existed or not. Economically feasibility, whatever the budget is, the within the budget we can complete the project or not. Legal feasibility, as per the rules of a cyber law, we can handle that or not. Operational feasibility, whatever the clients or the client user expecting those operation, can we develop, can we explain that, and these are the finally schedule feasibility, within the time whatever the client expecting, we able to deliver that product or not. So these are the main things actually we need to perform. So telos is a very powerful formula which is existed in a feasibility study environment area. So once the telos successfully completed, once the business requirement successfully gathered, the gathered requirements are writing a separate document is called as a business design document, that is the BDD. So in this business design document, all the requirements available, all the requirement existed at a higher level. So these requirements, as a technical members we are unable to understand that time. This is one input document to the next phase, that is the analysis phase. So what are the input to the feasibility phases is the business requirement, so that the input to the analysis phase is the BDD, that means the business design document. So the next phase is the analysis phase. Software requirement specification and the software require or the system requirement specification. So this is the document where exactly the business requirement existed as well as the technical requirement also existed. So both the requirements available. It is a crucial document in entire project life cycle. So it contains the business requirement is related, technical requirement solution is done by the system analyst team. So this is the document input to the designing phase. Again the so next one is the designing phase. The designing phase, again designing is done into two level, high level designing as well as the low level designing. So what exactly high level designing and what exactly the low level designing? High level designing environment, what are the thing we are expecting, and the low level designing environment, what are the things we are expecting. So for example, the high level designing means what, that means the main module, and low level designing means the sub module or the child modules. So main module means the high level designing, and the sub modules and the child modules is nothing but the low level designing. High level designing is always done by the project manager, and the low level designing is always done by the project leader people. So it is what exactly designing meaning, and in this phase there is a document existed. The document is nothing but the project design document, that means the PDD. So it is input to the next phase, that is the coding phase. And the just like the PDD, the technical design document is also input to the next phase, that means the coding phase. So next phase is the coding. It is the input to the coding phase. It is the input to the coding phase. It means the input to the coding phase is the PDD or the TDD. TDD means the technical design document. So in this phase, the total development team involving this development team developing the total source code on a specific technology like the Java, PHP, .NET, Python, like etc. So that there is a specific environment area they are implementing source code. Once they are implementing source code on a specific on a specific technology, they are performing here write the white box testing. So white box testing is always done by the software developer or the software engineer. It never performed by a test engineer. Once successful completion of a white box testing, it is coming to the black box testing. So from these phases, from this phase, that means the coding phase, from this phase the release, the once one product is the built, the built is input built is input to the testing. So testing phase. So the testing team on that build life cycle is applied here, that is the that is called as STLC. So that means the software testing life cycle. Again it has the 6 phases: the test planning, test designing, test documentation, test execution, result analysis, bug tracking, and the bug reporting. Every phase is important in the STLC, and every phase is perfect. So there are the things what exactly existed in STLC manner. So STLC is one of the component under in SDLC, software development life cycle. So it is not a separate. Once you are trying to understand some development software system development life cycle, it contains the even SDLC, means software testing life cycle component. Again, test planning is bigger ones. So once testing successfully completed, then the next part is nothing but the delivery. So the next phase is the delivery and the maintenance. So successfully tested project, we are ready to give some concerned client or the concerned customer, that is called as a delivery. So before we are going to delivery, we must know what exactly that means the alpha testing and the beta testing. These two we are calling as the user acceptance testing. What are user acceptance testing, what exactly the happen here? So we try to understand once again. User acceptance testing, meaning user acceptance testing is nothing but the one point we need to remember that here, now first need to know what is alpha testing. For example, the project completed, defect free testing also completed. Now once successful testing completion, a client members is coming to a company level, and they are verifying each and every application properly working or not within the company location. That is comes under alpha testing. Once the alpha testing successful, we are delivering project to the client, and the client checking now these application at the client environment are client environment area, so properly working or not, they are checking with their tester or the third party tester. That means the beta testing. Once the beta testing successfully completed, delivering process will be closed. After that, the maintenance. So this is one. After that, the maintenance phase is the last phase. So after that, the maintenance will be entered. This maintenance again free of cost. So it is depend. That means the free maintenance available or the paid maintenance available or the 50-50, we are need to according to our client requirement level. Whenever the business design documentation, that means the BDD, before whatever the documentation rules and the regulation standard available, according to that some rules will be entered in the maintenance phase. So according to that, the company given maintenance to the client. So this is the total system development life cycle. So in this SDLC, software development life cycle, we have to see in the number of phases. That means the SDLC phases. So first is the feasibility study, analysis, designing, coding, testing, delivery and the maintenance. So this is the complete software development phases. Phases. So in this session we conclude all the system development life cycle phases. So thank you. Thanks very much.